The World Tour finally underway at the UAE. Well, a desert landscape to play with, constant temperatures and virtually no wind, unlike last year, meant today was surely going to be one for the sprinters. Out from Madinat Zayed into the desert, a turnaround and then straight back. So a headwind at the beginning of the day and a tailwind to bring everybody home. Well, remarkably, after 184 kilometres, the peloton would have climbed over 1,300 metres of altitude gain. Where they found those lumps and bumps is anybody's guess. It was very flat. 2 intermediate sprints along the way, so offering up some bonuses and prize money for those who are brave enough to take on the break. 2 from Gazprom decided to do exactly that. Kochetkov and Dmitry Strakov, who took both of the intermediate sprints for himself. Costelli and Tonelli were the fast men from Bardiani who got on the break. And Vavlosen of Lotto Soudal, who sent a short-handed team to this race of just 4 riders. Well, did Strakov fancy pushing all the way to the line after he'd done the duty of taking both of the intermediate sprints and guaranteeing himself with the bonus seconds a decent finish at the end of the day, provided he ended in the pack? Well, a puncture of convenience offered itself up, and he was absorbed, leaving only 4 up front, and there was no real motivation to catch those up the road. A road that was arrow straight from 60 kilometres all the way to the finish line. The longest finish straight then, perhaps, in cycling. Well, the pace was not high as finally the breakaway was wound in. And then it was about colour order. And indeed, the colour of the cheeks were slightly flushed for those whose mind faded and the wheels touched within the pack. No serious injuries, but there were a few bumps and bruises and perhaps a little embarrassment. Rick Zabel finding himself on the deck, no harm done. Well, after the touch of wheels, it kind of woke everybody up or refocused them. The breakaway offered its smiles to itself. They'd done a job today, but the sacrificial lambs were wound in with just over 19 kilometres to go, and then it was about colour order, and who indeed would have the train to deliver. Well, with the road mobbed and a few little arguments and pushes and bumps and bruises out there to try and find space, some opted to stay out of trouble. Sam Bennett, one of the out-and-out favourites, was at the back with his team. The pace was picked up by UAE, wanted a good show for Pascal Ackermann out there in his home race. But with Mark Cavendish, Dylan Groenewegen, Schwartzman, Barbier, Viviani, Demare, this was a roster of fantastic sprinting talent, and when we hit the Flamme Rouge, who was in position and who was not? That was the big question. Groenewegen's team looked to light it up. They set the pace, team Bike Exchange, but others had great interest, not least Alpecin Phoenix. Jasper Philipsen, when he went for it, Groenewegen tucked in on his back wheel, and we were searching for Viviani, and indeed for Sam Bennett, and where was Mark Cavendish? Harried and harangued were all of the sprinters, and when you have so much greatness all together, often the result is something of a surprise. Groenewegen taken to the barriers, but Jasper Philipsen doing enough to hold on. Groenewegen not happy, and a few others of the sprinters likewise. They, of course, will have a second chance tomorrow. Sam Bennett, out of position, finished extraordinarily strongly, thankfully putting his knee injuries to the back of our thoughts. Bennett just missing out on the win. Viviani in 3rd place. Groenewegen, Emils Leipens also there. Anna Demare, Canter, Croy, De Vriend, Ackermann. Mark Cavendish just fading. But the bright light was on Jasper Philipsen. Happy man, job well done for Alpecin Phoenix, and in this company, those are huge scalps that he took. As a result, he gets the overall standings and the coveted red jersey. Sam Bennett nearest to him, with Strakov having assembled some bonus seconds out on the road, finds himself running in 3rd place. A great race, more sprinting, absolutely guaranteed on stage 2.